Hey friends, it's a great day to be happier and healthier. I'm Dr. Emmett, and the crisis is real and staggering. Chronic joint pain now affects roughly 1 in 3 adults. Over 500 million people globally. Over 330 million Americans are suffering, despite modern medicine having the brightest minds, the most advanced research, the cutting-edge diagnostic tools, technology after technology. But more and more people, the percentage of people, it's on the rise. They're suffering with chronic joint pain, degenerative joint disease, arthritis, tendinopathies, bursitis, ligament sprains, strains, myelopathies, which are muscle conditions, cartilage issues, degenerative disc disease, bone diseases, bone spurs, osteoarthritis by far is the most, and more. And it's all related to bad breaking down joints. And the sad part is, this is really impacting everyday people's quality of life and lifestyles, significantly impairing physical function. Joint pain effects extend way beyond just discomfort. It's influencing mobility, people's mental health, their sleep patterns, social activities, family activities, career and job productivity and performance, civic organizations, church-related activities, the hobbies you like, sports, the fun stuff, and just overall physical well-being. Recognizing how joint pain disrupts daily routines and identifying effective solutions are essential steps towards regaining independence and getting to the next level with your health, your happiness, and improving your quality of life. The trajectory has changed, and the US is ranked at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to potential life lost and quality of life. The numbers and the direction you are heading in is staggering, and it seems that if you're still in that conventional standards of care model, the medical model, then it's now evident that you are being misled, mistreated, and dismissed by a system that is not really set up and never designed to actually stop the progression of degenerative disease. If you're living with knee pain, hip stiffness, shoulder and neck conditions, low back arthritis, or degenerative joint disease, the chances are you've been told the same drumbeat story. It's just aging, or worse, it's your genes. So take this pill, and if that wears off, we can try another stronger version. Maybe up the dose, change the dose. And when it's unbearable enough, we'll give you a cortisone injection that knowingly and ultimately will wear off like numbing cream on a tooth cavity. Studies suggest from the Mayo Clinic and others that patients shouldn't get more than 3 cortisone shots in a lifetime. Some orthopedics refer to cortisone injections as the fast track to replacement because some evidence suggests that in many cases it advances the degenerative nature of the degenerative joint disease, thus leaving you more susceptible to it progressing and getting worse. So guess what you need more of, more often. And then finally, hey, don't worry, you can always come back, and when it's bad enough, we can do surgery, or we'll just replace it. Tragically, in this pill-mill medical model, it's rare the doctors have the time, nor do they even explain that by the time your joints hurt, the damage has already begun, or it's been lurking around underneath the surface already for a long time. And painkillers, they don't reverse the damage, they only numb it, and the facts show today that many of the things that people are prescribed not only just mask the symptoms, but in many circumstances, they actually accelerate the deterioration, the deformation, and the progression nature of the degenerative joint disease. So narcotics, opioids, gabapentin, painkillers, they're actually a threat to life in many cases. On average, about 200 people are killed per day by these painkillers. This is not healthcare. This is symptom care or just joint pain management. And it's failing. It's failing everyday people just like you. You can do better. You deserve better. You were designed to live extraordinary, not just to be a number or a statistic. I've sat with patients who thought that they were doing everything right. They followed all the advice, they took the prescription, they showed up for their therapy and injections, and yet the pain kept coming back and it continued to progress and get worse. It got deeper, more limiting than before. And do you know what hurts most? It's not just the joints, it's the slow loss of self. It's the loss of the things you enjoy, the things you love about life. The missed walks with your spouse, the canceled family trips, the feeling that your body is betraying you and your joints are aging faster than your mind, your ambition, and your goals in life. And no one seems to really understand, or they just don't care. It often makes simple activities, simple things like walking, climbing stairs, standing for extended periods of time, sleeping, driving, working, intimacy, or your sex life. It can be difficult, it can be painful. This reduction in mobility can lead to a reliance on other assistance devices, which affects your independence. Your kids, your grandkids, your spouse, they don't understand. They don't know your joint pain. They don't know the silent suffering you may be in. What they know is that you're not walking with them as much or at all anymore. You're not playing as much with them or enjoying the beach, the fun, the vacations. They see less activity. They see less fun, less of the personality you had when you were joint pain free. The real tragedy is that most people are never told what's actually happening inside the joints. What you call arthritis or bone on bone isn't just cartilage wearing down, it's about tissue degeneration versus regeneration. It's chronic inflammation, or often referred to as itis, versus inflammation modulation, and dysfunction or malfunction versus full function in how your body moves and how it heals. It's about circulation and flow. An integrative approach to tissue repair, regeneration, and healing with circulation. Circulation is flow of blood flow, lymph flow, nerve flow, and cellular nutrient exchange. Things like good fats versus bad fats. It's kind of like the lubricant to a joint, the WD-40 spray if you're over 50 years old like me. It's about the micro trauma your joints absorb silently, daily. And most importantly, it's about the fact that your body still wants to heal. You were programmed to heal and repair. You were designed by God to repair, regenerate, and heal. It just hasn't been given the right approach, maybe the time, the patience, or the space to do it. Traditional medicine is brilliant at emergency care. If you break a bone or have a heart attack, they will save your life. But when it comes to restoring life, to preventing degeneration, to reversing inflammation, to helping you stay active and independent and joyful, thriving into your 50s like me, or into your 60s, 70s, and 80s, the system falls flat. But if you're waiting for them to tell you the whole story, you're going to be waiting for a long time. You'll be waiting until your name is on the surgery schedule. We have to stop accepting chronic pain and degenerative disease is a cost of getting older or hardwired into our genes. We have to stop assuming that pills, drugs, self-medicating are the solution when they never really address or correct the root cause. And we have to stop letting people slowly walk into joint replacements, wheelchairs, because they were never told another path, another option, a better approach. You deserve to know what's happening in your body. You deserve to understand that inflammation can be modulated, that scar tissue can be broken down, that joint alignment can be restored, that circulation can be improved, that regeneration is possible versus degeneration. Because healing isn't just about miracles, it's about biology. And your body is designed, wired to heal. It's not your age, it's not your genetics, it's the system that's failed you, your approach. The system that failed to teach you how to work with your biology. If you want to blame the sports you played or jobs you've had, the foods you ate, or the genes you were born with, then we can relate. We have something in common because I too was told my joints were damaged and breaking down at an early age because of all of those things. I grew up impoverished, poor, and living on my own by the time I was 16. So quality of food wasn't really an option when you're just looking for food to survive. I was working in roofing and construction for a decade, ruining my knees, my spine, all the joints, by the time I was 13, just to pay rent and buy food while getting through high school. In high school, I was a competitive athlete, so sports played a role in my joint disease. Wrestling in high school, football, and then competing in the collegiate level as an NCAA All-American in wrestling. My joints took a hit, while also qualifying for Division I national championships in rugby. Playing rugby, I was a Golden Gloves boxing runner-up. And then I decided to beat my joints even further by becoming a 5-time Ironman finish. I did a bunch of marathons, also competing and qualifying for multiple world championship games as a triathlete, as well as a doctor for athletes in multiple world games around the world, Olympic games, CrossFit games. And most recently at this age, I recently just ran my first 100-mile ultra marathon. So if I listened to all those providers' recommendations and followed the herd, the conventional standards of care, then I wouldn't be here with you today. I believe complex conditions often require simple solutions. So if you want to drop the drugs, I want you to hit that like button, hit that share button, subscribe now, because this is a place where pounds are shed, disease is dead, pills are in the past, and you are taking your health, happiness, and quality of life to the next level. You were not made to break down. You were made to move. Let's help you return to that.